6 months to convince myself that it was okay to share what I experienced that night with you guys and to be vulnerable enough with you guys to share what I'm about to share. I took an IV to get out there and fight you.
You cheated.
I took an IV.
Cheated. So you cheated.
I took an
You
IV
cheated.
to be able to stand.
You cheated. You're a cheater.
I took an
And
IV
you still lost.
to be able to
And you still
to
lost.
be able to stand up and fight you.
Ha.
Have enough energy to stand up or to get out of bed, not for you to go out there and fight somebody. Coming for everybody, regardless of the bad blood. I feel like I give a lot of these guys opportunities. So as you all know, the results were the results. And after the fight, I went to the hospital, and sure enough, I was tested positive with COVID. I dropped you in the first 30 seconds.
That was a lie.
Austin McBroom is caught cheating again. This time, he's taking advantage of fighters in the ring. He's also trying to convince his fan base that he's a victim, along with his wife, Catherine. So let's get into it. We need to talk about what's going on with the Ace family, because they may be at their lowest point. Even though their relevancy continues to drop, their controversy increases. Recently, they posted a documentary-style video on their YouTube channel about Austin's fight against Gibb. In this video, we learn that Austin McBroom actually had COVID-19 when he fought Gibb in his most recent fight, which he lost. And he makes this super dramatic movie documentary style video about this instance and claims that he's super vulnerable talking about this, which I understand, COVID's not easy for everyone, but this seems like he really tried to make the most of it and to milk it to ultimately explain why he lost.
Thank you. 6 months to convince myself that it was okay to share what I experienced that night with you guys and to be vulnerable enough with you guys to share what I'm about to share. So now I'm about to share something with you guys that nobody knows besides my family and my team.
Hey guys, we're gonna clear out the room. Go ahead, everybody out.
Whew. That was one hell of a fight. Have enough energy to stand up or to get out of bed, not for you to go out there and fight somebody. So as you all know, the results were the results. And after the fight, I went to the hospital, and sure enough, I was tested positive with COVID.
I totally get it. I've had COVID before, but there are some inconsistencies in that documentary and a ton of lies. If you guys really want me to break down every single lie, I can, but I was a little bit overwhelmed by it all. Even though Austin lost against Gibb, Austin is now fighting Gibb over again, which honestly seems kind of boring to me. What is this, redemption? Surprisingly, this fight actually isn't through Austin's company, so it may not actually go bankrupt this time, and maybe these fighters will be paid. But now that he's fighting Gibb again, there is a little bit of controversy. Of course, it's the Ace family. So they posted this documentary, and Austin talks about having COVID and how he got an IV dripped with some nutrients before his fight, which is not a good look, because when it comes to sports and athletes, you really need to be natural. You can't go and use steroids or IVs or all of these drugs to cure yourself to make you a better fighter. It's just unfair. And this YouTuber called him out on it.
I took an IV to get out there and fight you.
You cheated.
I took an
You
IV.
cheated. So you cheated.
I took an
You
IV
cheated.
to be able to
You
stand.
cheated. You cheated. You're a cheater.
I took an
And
IV
you still lost.
to be able to
And you still
to
lost.
be able to stand up and fight you.
Ha.
Yeah, he's bringing up the fact that he had to do an IV to have the fight to try and make him seem tough and that he could have postponed it, but he's just admitted that he cheated. Austin McBroom literally says in his documentary that he did it behind the commission's back, which yet again is cheating. He's using something he's not allowed to use to improve his performance, and you can't do that in the best of times in sport, but in a combat sport, it's frowned upon.
I'm glad that Gibb is calling him out as a cheater, because I feel like there are so many instances where Austin isn't confronted with the truth, and it seems like Gibb isn't gonna let this one go, because he cheated and then lost. How do you cheat but then lose? And I get it, if he was actually sick, I mean, it makes sense, but the IV isn't something to flex. He's trying to say that he did this IV because he's such a tough guy and he was able to fight because of this IV, but really it just makes him look like a loser. And when you're looking at boxing in general, this isn't okay when it comes to the normal standard. So other people aren't going to take him seriously, and they're going to question him in his next round.
We actually just had a situation maybe about a month ago when Alexander Volkanovski was fighting Islam Makhachev, and there was some rumours going around that Islam might have used an IV before the fight. Now these are some tweets from Dan Hooker, who's another UFC fighter, saying, "Dumb CUNT thinks he can fly to Australia, hire a nurse to give him an IV, and we won't find out. Cheating dog."
So Austin might want to be careful when it comes to his IV drips and his special supplements, because he might fight someone who doesn't appreciate that and goes even harder than Gib has. But when it comes to boxing, it seems like this is really Austin's new identity, and now he's claiming careers. He's claiming that he's made careers out of some boxers who started in his tournament, which was ultimately a flop. So I think they're more like survivors starting from there and continuing to box, but he's taking credit for what they've done.
Coming for everybody, regardless of the bad blood. I feel like I gave a lot of these guys opportunities. Jarvis, Gib, they fought my first event, and look where they are now. If it wasn't for my first event, I'm not sure where they would be. So I feel like I gave a lot of these guys opportunity. So they should be actually thanking me.
If I was Austin, I would maybe hit the gym, because Gib is looking pretty good, and I wouldn't want to lose twice to the same guy. I mean, that's pretty embarrassing. But they are doing some promos for this event. The Ace family really hasn't posted much, but there was a bizarre live stream which went on their main channel. It had an old title from back in September of last year. But in this live stream, they were setting up the promo event, and for whatever reason, their channel went live and there was a whole lot of nothing, just a bunch of setting up. Some people were wondering if they were trying to show that this was a setup in general, but I just think they had some poor technicians working this. The video ended up disappearing and the live stream occurred on Gib's channel, but it was a weird moment because, like, what if we saw something messy happen? Because they tried to make it seem like these fighters, like, picked a random name and they were able to figure out who they're fighting through that, which obviously is BS. I mean, they all figured out who they're going to be fighting, and they did this little show to excite people and to make it seem like it's random. But, like, why would Austin and Gib randomly be fighting each other? It's obviously a setup, and they're probably trying to gain momentum because of the last fight, but people don't really, I mean, do they care? I guess they care. We're talking about it, but I don't care to go and, like, pay pay-per-view to watch it.
So we're fighting and get ready for that. You and Yogi and whoever the other tall brother is, get ready. Get ready.
Now again, obviously you won the last one, but I saw you throw some punches over here and asking me some questions. So how do you get him out of here?
I said, what was your favorite knockdown that I got on it?
Oh, what was the favorite one?
Was it the left hook, the cross, the body shot? Which one was it?
I gotta say left hook.
The left hook was bad boy, right?
Yeah.
McBroom, which was your favorite?
No, I dropped you in the first 30 seconds.
That was a light.
No one talks about that. I dropped you in the first 30 seconds.
You're in hospital. I was eating fried chicken.
If I was Austin, I wouldn't want to fight Gib. And with all respect, Austin has been looking pretty tired lately. I saw that all over the forums. Like, people are actually kind of worried about his well-being, if he's doing all right. Also, while I was on the forums, I saw this one post where someone wrote, "I just realized every time the Ace family go out of town, they clickbait the video as if they're moving, LOL. They did the same thing when they went to Mexico, Miami, and more recently, Dubai." It's a little bit cringe in my opinion, but I guess they've got to pay for the vacation somehow. Now let's switch gears and talk about Subify, because when it comes to the Ace family nowadays, it's really like legal lawsuits, all of that, and then boxing. There's really, like, only two things they're offering nowadays. I'm still waiting on Catherine McBroom's channel that she's been setting up for the past, like, what, 2 years at this point? Girl, if you need some help setting up the YouTube channel, it takes like 5 minutes to set up, and I feel like her channel would have been really good for her brand and her reputation, but nowadays it seems like she's just backing up and just posting on Snapchat and getting super spiritual. But Subify is a company that the Ace family partnered with to create, I believe, the Ace Club, and that was like a group of people who paid a subscription to get Ace family exclusives. I don't think these people actually received much of anything, but Subify is the company who organizes the website for the creator to go and post that exclusive content, kind of like what's that one with the Patreon. So back when they filed the lawsuit, it looks like the Ace family owed Subify like $300,000, maybe like $500,000. The Ace family used Subify's social engagement platform for 2 months, but never paid for the platform. They stole the platform outright. It kind of sounds like what Catherine did to 1212 Gateway. Right now I am ASMR. Right now I am using my lip sleeping mask. 1212 Gateway. It sounds like what Catherine did to 1212 Gateway, because she like took over the website and pretty much kicked out the partner and did like a heist. And this kind of sounds like the same situation with the Ace family and Subify, probably the Ace Club. They explained that Subify did invoice the Ace family, but they just never paid. And it seems like invoices are something that just kind of, it goes into the spam folder is what they claim. But now they're in court hashing it out, and Subify is looking for $10 million. Now, I don't know where the $10 million is going to come from, but yeah, it looks like Subify is going at them hard because they made a bunch of money off of them, and now they've been going into court. They have a ton of attorney's fees, and they want the Ace family to cover everything. Like I said, I don't know where this money is going to come from. I mean, let's take a look at their Social Blade. I must admit, as a creator, Social Blade is pretty inaccurate. I would probably double this. So they're probably making about $40,000 a month, which is a lot of money right there. Like, holy crap. But their revenue has dropped a ton. I mean, I remember like a year ago talking about them and looking at their Social Blade, and it was like $1 million they were making a year, maybe more, maybe like 2 million. It was a lot more money, but their views just aren't hitting like they used to, which I wonder why. I wonder if there's like a new like shift where people are really just bored with like family channels, or maybe it's the boxing. I don't like boxing is not something that like, you know, gets me going. So I'm just kind of like, I don't know if they're really appealing to the audience that they built. I mean, they still get like more views than I do, but like 205,000 views in 3 days. Like that's kind of like, I have a few videos that do that too. I mean, this documentary type of style video got, I guess, a good amount of views, but not even 1 million. Back in the day, they used to hit 1 million like boom, boom, bills paid, but we're not paying them. I have another video I'm filming about Landon McBroom and Shyla and just like Catherine's messy brother. If you guys want to check that out, keep your eye out for it. But I will see you guys in a new video soon. Here's my email. Send me video ideas for me, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.